Hello, and welcome to the next episode of My Life in Film. We're here in 1990. What are some of your favourite movies from 1990? Because this was one of the easiest lists I've done so far. We're starting with number 10, Awakenings. We have the Robert De Niro and Robin Williams movie, which follows a doctor trying to help his patients with an experimental treatment, which has remarkable results. It is a very emotional drama that shows De Niro and Robin Williams shining. It's a couple you wouldn't have expected to see on screen together when this movie was released. They are both fantastic to watch. It is a definite watch for anybody who wants a drama that will pull on the heartstrings. Number 9 is Tremors. Remember how I said I like action, horror, and everything like that? Tremors is everything about this. It is a way over the top movie about graboids living underneath the ground and attacking a small town. We have Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, and Michael Gross, who soon became a big part of this franchise, dealing with these graboids as they become more hungry for flesh. Simple as that, really. It is a way over the top movie. It is really, really enjoyable. And it's one that could work all year round because it has a desert setting. It's just something you need to be watching. So, back to the biggest ones I've yet to see. Wild at Heart. This seems to have a recurring theme of Nicolas Cage movies always on these. Sadly, it's going to happen more often, I think. Dances with Wolves. Mainly because I mixed this one up with The Last of the Mohicans for some reason. Don't ask me why. Ghost, I think it's one everyone knows the scene, but it's something I've never really wanted to watch, never seen much. I barely know the motivation in the story. We'll probably be changing that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell. I've watched the TV cartoon show, and why not watch the movies? I've seen the terrible. Actually, they're not terrible. They're sort of, you know what you're going in to watch when you watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, sure, I'll watch this one day. Crybaby. Again, these are just on the top. I know absolutely nothing about this movie. And the final one, let's just say it's not one I've watched. Number 8 is Predator 2. Yep, we're back with the big action movies. While this movie is nowhere near the level of the first Predator, it is still very interesting to see the movie take place in a big city. We have a new hero. Yes, it would have been nice if Arnie had returned, but we also get a lot of Easter eggs about the potential alien connection. So yeah, I like this one a lot more than a lot of people generally treat this movie. So again, we have so many great fight sequences in this movie. We have some really good iconic scenes. Like, instead of we know what the Predator's going to look like, so we can see the Predator more as well in this one. Number 7, change of tone, Home Alone. What more can we say about the ultimate Christmas movie, right? Everybody loves this movie. Everybody finds something new about this movie, and it's just one that is so iconically entertaining. It's one you can all enjoy every year without being bogged down with seeing it too often. So we reached the part time where I talk about the ones I didn't enjoy. We have 3 this time. The Godfather Part 2. The truth is I'm not a big fan of any of the Godfathers, so I'm not going to enjoy this one. Miller's Crossing. The Coen brothers to me are very hit and miss, and this was one of their misses. And Goodfellas. I don't like gangster movies. I'm sorry. I find them too genetic, boring. Same thing happens every time. We can have a longer debate about this another day. In at number 6 is Flatliners. Flatliners follows a group of medical students who believe that they could almost die to see if there's an afterlife, and they all face devastating consequences. And when you look at the mega cast of people involved in this movie, we have Kevin Bacon, second time he's been on the list, Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, Oliver Platt, A. Baldwin, not Alec, but William. But each character has a very different nightmare to what's happened, which makes it very, very interesting. It is one that really worked for the time, not so much when they remade this movie. It was terrible compared to this. Number 5 is Kindergarten Cop. I'm not going to be ashamed of enjoying this movie. It's Arnie doing comedy again. He worked in comedy because everyone expected him to be too brutish for these sort of roles, and he gets to almost be that, but not quite be that. He has good chemistry with the kids. It's not the strongest of stories, but you'll laugh along with some of the action. I enjoy watching it, and that's what this list is all about. Number 4 is Misery. How can we not include probably Stephen King's darkest and most interesting movie? Obviously he didn't direct it, but he did write the idea of a fan becoming overly obsessed with an author. Hey, Stephen King was an author. I know where he got this idea. Imagine if you did this with Twitter now, or Instagram, or TikTok, as everyone seems to like. We all know how Kathy Bates absolutely stole the show as Annie Wilkes, and that ankle-busting scene, still one of the best pure look away from the screen moments in film history. It is an essential watch for all. Number 3, and the third time we've seen Back to the Future on the list. This time it's the third one. In Back to the Future 3, we continue the adventure from number 2, when Marty goes back in time to the Westerns and meets a younger Doc Brown and has to save the day in Cowboys and Indians style movie. Yep, it's very funny, it's still very enjoyable, and the idea of watching a DeLorean being chased down by a group of Native Americans is hilarious. So I'm going to use the word must watch a lot of these because I like a lot of these movies. But for me, this was the final part of a near perfect trilogy. Number 2, oh look, it's Arnie again in Total Recall. Total Recall follows a man who thinks he's having a holiday put into his brain, but then he may be an agent who has to go to Mars to fight for the resistance against the evil company. We have some mega over-the-top sequences once again in this movie. One you can enjoy if you like silly over-the-top action movies that Arnie was so good at. So yeah, this was very simple to pick, I'm not gonna lie. And number 1 is Die Hard 2, Die Harder. I rarely enjoy Die Hard 2. It was the first Die Hard movie I ever saw, which is strange, but the idea that he still has to do the same sort of stuff within an airport makes this very interesting. The way everything unfolds by seeing how John McClane must addresses that he's known now. Seeing Holly and the reporter on the plane is very funny. And we have a good villain who's very calm and collective with what he wants to do, making this a very, very enjoyable Die Hard movie. So, that is my list of my top 10 movies of 1990. Let me know what your favourites from 1990 are, and until next time, we'll be back next Friday for 1991. Thank you for watching.